What's going on, folks? So it's been a while, huh? It's been like 3 months since I made my last video, but I'll tell you right now, one of those key reasons why I haven't been making content on YouTube, well, it's one of those key words that we're going to be talking about today. There's not a lot of things in life that I'm terrified of, but these three words always have been terrifying to me. Thinking about these three words have always brought me dread in life, whether if it's doing stuff or not doing stuff or failing to doing stuff. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. So let's talk about them, shall we? Number one, what terrifies me the most, the number one word, motivation. When I think about motivation, I think about things that get me to want to get stuff done. Momentum, bring you momentum. You wake up in the morning and you say, I'm going to get this done today and I'm going to feel good for doing it. Whether if it's cooking your favorite meal, learning how to cook a meal, like, I don't know, sushi or chicken cacciatore or something that you've always wanted to cook in life, something that you've always favored, but want to cook it yourself. For me personally, chicken marsala, but I've never had a problem with wanting to learn how to cook my meal and be motivated to do that. It's other things that I'm motivated to do. Motivation comes in dribs and drabs. If you have a schedule of goals, whether they're smaller or bigger, and depending on how you count your victories, whether small or big, any kind of thing that you lose momentum with, or any goal that you fail to achieve, could completely topple over your momentum and your motivation. It's like the Jenga effect. You take out that one block, boom, the whole tower falls over. And that is what has happened to me over these past few years. Whether if it's me refraining from drinking or refraining from semen retention, refraining from working the gherkin, if you get what I'm saying. Yeah, without not getting into too much detail. I can tell you over these past few years, not drinking as much has been a problem for me, and that's another video for another time, by the way. Point is, when it comes to motivation, it could take one loss to completely destroy every bit of momentum and motivation that you have. All right? Motivation, your motive, your MO. What is the motive to doing something? What is the motive to getting something done? Why are you here? What is your motivation to get something done? The reason I'm motivated is to feel good about myself. The moment that I wake up to the morning and from the moment that I go to sleep, my motivation comes from winning. There's so many ways to win in life, but there's only one way to lose. That way to lose is not winning. And when you lose any goal, if you lose at working out or if you lose at something that you said you wanted to do during the day, or going to the store and grabbing some items from the grocery store, making a YouTube video, which is something I haven't done in a while. Motivation is definitely key for me, and if I fail to do something, failure to semen retention or failure to refrain from drinking, that can easily completely knock over every bit of motivation and confidence that I had to get through the rest of the week with other goals that I wanted to commit. Motivation is key, and motivation for everybody can be different, but that word terrifies me because when I lose it, it's hard to gain it back, trust me. Number two, failure. Now, the two words I failed or I lost are one of the most terrifying things that I could say to myself. Say to myself, say to somebody else. I didn't win, I lost. Like I said earlier, there's many ways you can win, but there's one way to lose, and that way is not winning. You could run a race, you could do 20 push-ups, but you could fail to get the girl's number, and that could completely destroy your pride for the rest of the night. Now, I'm not saying that I've ever gone through this. Personally, for me, I haven't tried to go on a date since 2018, but that's another story for another time. Failure. That word means a lot to me because anything can be interpreted as failure. For me personally, failure is just not winning enough for me. Failure is something that, for a lot of people, means failing to commit to a goal, failing to win a race, but failure to me is just not winning enough. There's many ways to win, but there's only one way to lose, and that's not winning. If I'm not winning at all, then I feel like I'm losing. If I have no purpose in life, then I feel like a failure. I feel like a loser. All the time I spent without a job, I have one now, thank God, but all the time I spent without a job, I felt like a failure. I felt like a loser. And that is hard to overcome. You can move in many pegs in life. There's square one, square two, square three, square four. If you can be motivated to stick to a workout routine every day and do the bare minimum, like taking care of yourself hygienic-wise, keep up with yourself so you're not unkempt, you don't have to fall down onto square one. Square one is the very bottom. Square none is obviously square zero. When you're depressed and laying in bed all day, because I've been there myself, you have no motivation, which plays back to before. If you can move yourself up and have the motivation to just stay on square three or square four, which is keeping up with your workout routine, keeping up with your schedule, keeping up with what you need to do for small goals' sake to get them small victories, if you can make them small victories count, those victories will definitely turn into bigger victories over time, trust and believe, from my own experience. But failure is one of those ways to completely lose all hope. Because if you fail at one goal, that doesn't mean you fail at the rest of the day, right? But for me personally, I've gone through the situation where I've dealt with that Jenga effect. One failure leads to the rest of the week being tarnished. Don't let that be a possibility for you. Failure is not an option. It's an event. So don't let that event completely ruin your day. You can look at failure as not an option, as you can't fail, but I look at failure, and it's hard to do this, looking at failure as not an option. It's not an option. You don't always have control over failure. It's an event that happens. You can lose, but that doesn't mean you can't win forever. You can lose at not drinking, but you can also win at nofap. And if you say nofap nowadays, you're like a 12-year-old boy. It's 2026. Grow the fuck up. No, but I'm serious. If you can refrain from doing that, I'm big on semen retention. So if you can do that, more power to you, my friend. Last but not least, and this is the least scary to me, because this word definitely makes me feel more motivated than anything, but success. What do you define as success? I've had a problem with this for a long time, but I've most recently, over the past 3 years, have defined the word success as something that makes you proud, something that makes you feel accomplished, or something that you can feel accomplished with. I don't have to have fast cars or have $1 billion to feel like I'm a success. If I'm proud of what I do and I do it with pride, then that's success. If I can make a living, making money every day, and just working an honest job, making an honest living, that's all a man needs. And I'm one of those men that just wants to work hard every day and have a purpose in life. If you can do that every day, and if you can feel good doing it, then that's success for you. Having a music career, having a film career, having any kind of career. Me having a career can be anything that can keep me going and keep me useful. Like me, I always wanted to be a motivational speaker in life. Hopefully this will be the starting point. But point is, success can be defined from many people, and it can be something different in anybody's eyes. Success for me is just, like I said, being able to win every day. Small wins turn into bigger wins, turn into ultimate wins. I've always wanted to win the Boston Marathon or run a 10-mile run and be successful at that, right? Success can come in many forms and shapes and sizes. There's many ways to win, but there's only one way to lose, and that's not winning. Don't let that define your success. Don't let that define what your success is. Success plays a role in failure. If you cannot be afraid of failure, and if you don't let a certain failure obtain every bit of your motivation and completely lose it, then you'll find your way to success eventually. Failure is not an option, it's an event, and it's not always in your control. The moment that you lose control and failure happens, don't let it ruin your life. Failure, well, does not have to play a big role in whether you do or do not succeed. When you're successful, that means you're full of success because you allowed yourself to fail and get back into the motivation of winning and succeeding at your goals. And that's all there is to it. The 3 words, success, failure, and motivation, have always terrified me, because it's something to look at every day. Every time I think about success, it's like, what the fuck, man, I'm not successful, but maybe I am successful without realizing it. I wake up every day, I earn my keep in society, and I take care of things around this house. I make sure I make it a point to take care of everybody in the house. I make sure to take care of the dog in the house, because we have a dog. I walk the dog every day, feed the dog every day. That's successful enough, right? Well, I want to have a job too, right? Having a job is one of those things that can keep you going, and it's just like a gear in the system that keeps everything turning. The more money I make, the more confident I feel in myself, and I'll be able to strive financially. But you have to have the motivation to be successful. You have to have the motivation to keep going even though you fail sometimes. And you have to have the motivation to know that failure is not an option, it's an event. And so long as you can keep going, no matter how much you fail at one goal, you can succeed at another. And once you have the motivation to know and realize that and keep going, that's all that really matters. If you found this helpful, let me know in the comments what you think. Give this video a like. And let me know if there's other words that you can think of that is terrifying to you, right? That you find to be terrifying. Hit the like, comment down below what you think, subscribe to my channel, and ring my bell to be notified, and share the video with your friends. Until next time, get lost.